The first scene I watched of the game was of Geralt in the bathtub. And I saw that and I thought to myself, well, this just might be really good. Hello there! If you're new here, I'm Miriam and this is my gaming perspective. Last week it was The Witcher 3 5th anniversary. And like with most games, in some cases it has aged really well, as if it were a good wine that only gets better with the pass of time. But in other cases, let's just say, let's just say there are a few things I would like to change about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like this game. In fact, it's one of my favorite ones. I love The Witcher 3. But I must admit that there are some few things here and there that could be improved. So I thought I would make a video telling you guys whether or not I think The Witcher 3 is worth buying in 2020. But I'm not going to tell you outright if you should buy it or not. Everyone should buy it. Everyone should buy it. Definitely. I'm going to let you decide. I'm just going to give you the facts and what I think it's good and what I think it's bad about the game. At least in 2020. First of all, let's get this out of the way. The graphics are stunning. They are beautiful. And even though it's been 5 years since the release of the game, they are still completely amazing. And even better than some of the games that are being released nowadays. I'm not really going to say which ones because I don't want you to come and kill me, so... What really impresses me about The Witcher though, it's not the graphics related to its characters or the monsters, but the scenery, the nature surrounding The Witcher. For me, a game that has a lot of nature is a really good game. And I love to play The Witcher 3 and just go there to see the nature, to wander around and look at the mountains, visit Skellige and see all the nature, and it completely amazes me. It's truly incredible. So I want to take a few seconds in this video to just amaze you with the nature of The Witcher 3. Talked about the graphics, and there's one thing graphically speaking which is terrible. It's terrible, and that is the water. The water in this game sucks. It sucks so bad. It looks like oil. The first time I saw it, I didn't really realize how bad it was. But later on, when I started swimming in it, it's so thick. Sometimes it looks like slime. It's horrible. I don't know what they did with that water, but I've definitely seen games with water that looks so much better than that one, even older ones. If I were Geralt, I would definitely not go swimming in that water. No. No sir, no thank you. Okay, moving on. As it has been 5 years since its release, the game right now is actually really cheap. No, the majority of games, if they have a DLC content, let's imagine that you could spend on that game around $80, 90, depends on the game, but if its release price was $60 and then you had to pay 20 for the DLC, if you want the DLC, of course, then it would cost around 80, 90, something like that. And that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not rich. And no, $90 for a game has to be a really good game and one that I really want to spend my money on. But now, since it has been... Wow. But now, since it has been 5 years since its release, the game is really cheap. You can buy the complete edition with all the DLC and downloadable content and everything for like $20. So I think that $20 for a complete game, it's a bargain. And for such an incredible game, everyone should buy it. For $20, everyone should buy it. Definitely. But I mean, I did say at the beginning of this video that I was not going to tell you whether you should buy it or not. So erase that of your minds. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Okay? The story is another thing that really sucks you right in. The story of The Witcher 3 is really well written. And even though it's a continuation from The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 1, you don't really need to play those in order to follow the story. The only thing you might need to know is the characters, like Geralt, Yennefer, Triss, and all that. Who are they? And that's about it. However, if you really want to feel connected to the story and to the characters and understand them a little bit more, then you definitely should at least check out the story on the internet, maybe. Wait, Wikipedia? Perhaps? Or something like that. At least that's what I did. That, I also had a friend who had played the other Witcher games and he basically told me the whole story, so. What you could also do is watch the Witcher Netflix TV series. It's not the complete story, but it's a prequel of the games. Because the games are in fact based on some novels written by this author whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce because it's just impossible. But yeah, they were written by him. And what the games really did was write a sequel for those books. So if you watch the TV series, you'll get more information about those characters, even though right now we only have season 1, so you're not going to really get much information, but you get a little bit, which is better than nothing, I believe. Now let's talk about the bugs in the game. With a game so heavy, because it's really heavy, it's massive. It's massive. It's difficult to imagine that a game so heavy wouldn't have bugs. And one of the things that struck me the most when I played it was, I'm going to call it, the silent bug. What I mean by this is when you're playing a certain, or where you're watching a certain scene, suddenly some of the characters lose their voice. They don't have a voice anymore. You can read what they are saying, but they don't have a voice anymore. And that's really creepy. It freaked me out when I first saw it. I wasn't worried about the game, but it really did freak me out because I was watching this one scene and the characters, they didn't have a voice, which made it more creepy. It was this scene with the 3 witches and those disgusting But yeah, suddenly in that scene they didn't have a voice anymore. And that's not something they are ever going to fix. So if you're going to buy the game, keep in mind that in some scenes, they are not many. Trust me, they are not many. But there are some scenes, like maybe 5% of the game. No, not even that. 3%, 2% of the game don't have a voice. They lose their voice. And that's not something you can fix. It's just a part of the game right now. Now the last thing I want to talk about are the towns, the cities. When you enter one of The Witcher 3's towns, you can almost smell it. And let me tell you, that's not really nice, but it makes it more realistic, I guess. They are designed so well and they are so alive with all the characters and the NPCs walking around and talking and going about their business. Though it's really funny how in these games each NPC does the same thing every day. Like if you're standing in some part of the city and you're walking around there and then you decide to come back the next day, you will see that same NPC doing the same stuff he did the day before. So I guess that's also what we do, right?
We wake up, we have breakfast, we go to work or to university or whatever you're doing, come back, do more work, and go to sleep.
That's so monotonous. Life is so monotonous. But it is what it is. But yeah, towns in The Witcher 3 are incredible. The houses, the buildings. You can see how, historically speaking, they were inspired by Polish history. Now, another thing good about the game is that, well, Geralt is hot. What more do you want? I mean, the first thing that sold me on the game was Geralt. The first scene I watched of the game was of Geralt in the bathtub. And I saw that and I thought to myself, well, this just might be really good. So I bought it. But if you are not convinced on Geralt, then you also have Yennefer, you have Triss, you have Cirilla, and you have a really huge, and I mean huge, amount of female characters who are really good looking. And I'm kind of sad because we don't have any more male characters who look nice apart from Geralt. But well, that's the thing. So now that we are talking about the female characters, those of you who have played the game, which team are you on? Team Yennefer or Team Triss? Personally, I'm Team Yennefer. I'm sorry, but I love Yennefer. Triss, she's cute, she's nice, but Yennefer, wow. And that's all I'm going to say about her. Another thing I want to talk about is the battle system. The battle system is really good. And when you start playing it, it might seem a little bit complex because you have a lot of things you can do. First of all, you have the normal battle system. You get your sword and you can fight everyone with your sword. But Geralt is a special kind of being. He's a witcher. And witchers have special abilities, let's say. And thus, Geralt can not only fight with his sword, he can also fight with his witcher abilities. He's able to cast magic, to cast different spells and all that. So, while you are battling with your sword, you can also use these different spells. And while we are talking about the battle system, let's talk about the ability points. You get ability points as your level rises up, and you get to spend these ability points in improving your battle abilities and also your magic. Your attack gets stronger, your defense too, and all of those things you can usually do with ability points in video games. With all these ability points, you will be able to build Geralt's skill tree in order to become a better monster killer. And with that, I think I've said enough about The Witcher 3. If I continue on, I don't think I will ever be able to finish this video, because I could keep talking and talking about The Witcher 3 for hours. And trust me, I don't think you would want that. So I'm going to finish it here for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And as I told you before, I would like you to tell me whether you're Team Yennefer or Team Triss down in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos in the future. I'll see you in the next video.